Hello and welcome to this week's episode of House of Tremere. This is episode 2. Uh, I am Mark, aka the CatsMeow, and I will be your storyteller for tonight's events, happily leading my players down a path of terror and violence and watching important people to them explode. So I hope you're ready for what will be a enjoyable but intense session of Vampire the Masquerade. I think with that, we're going to do some intros from our players. This week, we are going to start off with Bob. Why don't you introduce yourself and your character for our lovely viewers?
Hey everyone, Ticking Time Bob Gaming, playing Jordi Rivera today. The super nice and friendly, not micromanaging manager. So, yeah.
Exactly. I'm sure things are going to be fine. Uh, Next up, Emily. Why don't you give us your introduction?
Hi, I'm Emily. I'm playing Kess Price, and so far he's changed a light bulb successfully. So he's
I
got
wouldn't
that going.
say successfully, but you changed it.
It he did what he could. Um, so clearly very vital member of the team.
Absolutely. All right then. Up next, Ree, why don't you give us your introduction?
Hey everyone, I'm Ree. I play Maruna Mezi, uh, who was right last episode because she's the Cassandra of the group, basically. Been saying things were gonna go wrong, and they went spectacularly wrong.
That is very true. Very much kind of called it. But then again, it's safe to assume things always go wrong.
That's true. It's a pretty much a good prediction, I think, in the world of Vampire.
Absolutely. Uh, Up next, Zach, why don't you give us your introduction?
All right, well, hello everyone. I'm Zach, and I'll be playing a little guy known as Hasib. He's a young and entirely too optimistic student apprentice with an obsession with learning, possibly taking too many books out of the library at one time, embarrassing more than one person with his obsessive nature, and I can't wait to see what to do with the our world ending. He's lived a quite the blessed life, so it's going to be way out of his realm.
Oh, yes. It's definitely going to be interesting seeing all of you exposed to the uncertainty and chaos. Uh, Speaking of which, Cyberbro, why don't you give us your introduction?
All right. Howdy, I am Cyberbro, and I am playing Dr. Quentin Quangle. Um, he's specialized in the matters of the flesh and the mind. And I think Dr. Quangle is, well, today has been an interesting day for the good doctor. I'll say that. Today has been an interesting day.
You know what? I think that's a fair enough point. Isn't there that classic saying, "May you live in interesting times"?
Yes, yes. I think we've entered
Mm-hmm.
interesting times. Things were boring. Not
Yep.
boring in the sense of, okay, day-to-day grind. And now we're in interesting times.
All right then. I think with that, is there anyone in this group who would like to lead this week's recap? Who's going to step forward?
I wasn't prepared for this, but I can try.
If you would like to, there is a special reward in it for whoever does.
Okay. So, all right, guys, on last week's episode of House of Tremere, we met our lovely chantry, who has just introduced themselves. Uh, we started off with Kess reading quietly, and that quiet being very promptly interrupted by Hasib, who is always full of questions. In this case, questions about installing cameras in the chantry, which is not really much of a masquerade friendly thing to be doing. Kes tried to explain this to him, and he did not get it, and proceeded to keep trying to do it anyway. We had Jordy, the clan whip, returning to the chantry after being away, looking not very pleased, and receiving a list of things that had been done wrong. And then we saw Maruna watering the plants that were all wilting, which she purported to be a sign of something terrible coming. We met the wonderful good Dr. Quangle, who was on a mission to make sure that all of the library books were returned from every member of the chantry, who seemed to have at least one checked out and overdue, with the exception of Hasib, who had about 10 checked out and overdue. We were all called into a meeting with the regent, Adrian Carr, who told us that he was going on a trip and that there was a meeting at the Elysium called the Black Swan Theater. We were all to make sure that we returned in promptly 4 hours when he returned. Jordy scolded basically all of us, put several of us under house arrest, and but did take Dr. Quangle and Hasib with him to the Elysium, where it was announced that the Assamites would be officially joining the Camarilla of the city, which isn't typically great news for the House of Tremere, but is the decision of the prince. Back at the chantry, Kes tried to change a light bulb. The light bulb didn't work. And then when everyone, while everyone was gone, Maruna talked to her sire, who urged her that yes, things were going bad, that something bad was going to happen, and that she had to make everyone listen to her. Just as she was about to try to tell this to Kes, the rest of the chantry returned, and returned just in time for our regent to also begin to return through the mirror. However, something went very, very wrong upon his return. The mirror started to crack, and he started to move towards us in slow motion, unable to break through the mirror that he had been able to go through so easily earlier that day. The mirror shattered, and with it, so did Adrian Carr. And we were bathed in blood, left with only a severed hand and a broken pair of glasses on the floor. And that is where we left our wonderful, jolly group.
That's very true. For a good recap such as that, you will get an extra free temporary willpower point.
Thanks.
Alright. With that, at the start of session, I need you all to roll me a d10. I'll also get some music on.
Hopefully high is good. We're looking pretty high on these D10s.
Everybody's high.
Good to know.
This is going to be really good or really bad, one or the
Yep.
other.
It's a good question. All right then. To our viewers, I hope you're hearing some sort of music right now. If not, enjoy the silence and the sound of our wonderful voices. With that, I think we can begin. As we find ourselves focusing on a small radio in the room, in the office of the regent. as we see it begin to come to life. And music begins to come through. Music that slowly fades down as we begin to listen in to the program that is playing. I realize I can't actually see what I've written. Always prep beforehand, fellas. Always prep beforehand. As we see the radio splutter to life, and the words come through it. You're listening to New Angleham's Rock Authority, WNAG 97.7777. Alright, my beautiful deranged creatures of the night, this is Caligula, and you're riding shotgun with me on Caligula's Countdown. It's 199 days until the great unknown, the big 00, the moment our computers might just say, nah, I'm good, and peace out forever. But let's be real, if the world does go up in flames, at least we'll have one hell of a soundtrack to send us off. Now then, before we dive into the next track, I want to hear from you. Yeah, you. You driving down Route 5 with nothing but your headlights and your thoughts. You, the guy working the graveyard shift, pretending to mop while you're listening to me. And especially you, the weird ones. The ones who can't sleep. The ones who see things there in the dark. What's keeping you up tonight? Hit me up on the hotline, 555-WNAG, and let's talk about it. Speaking of nightmares, you ever get that feeling when you're just about to drift off, but suddenly you feel like you're falling, like something's waiting for you, just past the edge of your dreams? Yeah, turns out, it's real. But don't worry, I got just the thing to keep the monsters at bay. Buckle up, New Angleham. This is Enter Sandman by Metallica. Sweet dreams, if you make it that far. With that, we hear the sounds of static before the opening riff of Enter Sandman kicks in. At this point, we pull away from this small little hand radio that sits on the desk of the regent, as we see once again the scene of everyone crowded around the mirror as it begins to crack open, as the mirror bends and threatens to shatter, before finally crack. An explosion of glass and blood litter everything in the room, including the 5 kindred that stand before it. As you are all pushed back, knocked against the walls, you feel the warm, dead blood cover you. You can taste the irony smell that fills all of your senses. And that pit that was building in your chest, that tight feeling, suddenly snap like a rubber band. After the sudden chaos, there is silence, as you all find yourselves pushed to the ground. As before you, Geordie, sits a pair of broken glasses. And in the hands of Maruna, a single severed hand gripped in hers.
And Maruna's right next to Dr. Quengle as well. who is also trying to help pull Adrian from the mirror. She kind of just stares at the hand for a moment.
Pop! The light bulb above suddenly explodes, shattering glass everywhere once again, and snapping you out of whatever daze you were in. I'd like all of you to make some courage rolls. This will be difficulty 7, we'll say.
So
Is
where
that
do
with
we?
something else?
Is there a thing on it for it? I think it might just be roll dice. No, roll willpower past left virtue, because courage is a virtue.
What was the difficulty? Sorry.
Difficulty is 7.
7.
Wait till you see how brave Hasib is.
So should it be willpower used, or yes or no?
Not unless you plan to use willpower to keep control. So you don't have to.
I'll definitely
We're
be
doing great.
using willpower.
Yeah. For those who failed, you can spend a point of willpower to keep your composure, as you're having to actually hold back your panic.
I would like to do that.
Wow, Hasib is holding on with his one dice.
Alright then.
I'm gonna be burning that temporary willpower that I just got.
Alright. Ones do not count in this case, so you have 2 successes, Dr. Quankle.
Hooray.
Alright then. With that, we return to the chaos, as all of you are now covered in blood, and some of you have bits of glass indented into your skin. Or I should say, cut into your skin. What's everyone's reaction to this?
It's pitch black, yes?
No,
Might
I'd
be a
say there's
lamp.
like a light on the desk. But the light above you is dead.
Hasib, barely holding on to his wits, is blubbering at this point. Like his eyes are darting around where all the blood has splattered, and he's not making a whole lot of sense. But he's pointing with a finger to where the mirror used to be, and he said, "What? The mirror? It's everywhere. He's everywhere. What?" And he just blubbers.
Maruna's gonna drop the hand and kind of get up and say, "We're not gonna be able to think in here. You should step out to compose ourselves."
Dr. Quengle will pick up the hand and say, "Fascinating."
There was a piece
Quangle.
of paper that came through the mirror, didn't it?
Yep.
Sorry.
A letter. Specifically, it's a letter in the hand.
Oh, great.
I'll take the letter out of the hand and hand it to Jordy. Jordy, I believe this is for you.
Jordy has a very neutral expression on his face. Maybe for the first time ever, he doesn't look naturally angry, and he looks out of it for a second. As his name is called, he sort of snaps to, and he's like, "Oh, And he takes the letter. And then as he sees Maruna suggest the exit, he just kind of follows, almost at no real pace at all, out of the room.
And Maruna's gonna go over to make sure that Hasib, like, help guide Hasib out because he seems panicky. How's Cass doing?
He's silent and staring where the mirror used to be.
She's also gonna tap Cass on the shoulder.
It's alright, Hugo.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm good. Just, you go.
Someone grab a dustpan or something. We can still collect it, and someone knows a ritual, right? We just have to make the mirror again, and Hasib's at this point like trying to, with his hands, scoop together blood on the floor, but of course it slips away.
Dr. Quangle, make a perception and medicine.
Gotcha. Okay. So this would be roll dice then.
Yes.
Okay. Perception. Medicine. Apply wound penalty. I don't think I have any wound.
You shouldn't have any wounds.
Okay. So. What difficulty?
This will be difficulty 8.
Specialization. Okay. I'm specialized in medicine. I've got 4 circles in it. So would
Do you
that
have
be
a specific specialty?
well, surgery is my specialty.
Would not apply in this case.
Would not apply. All right, heard. Submit. Willpower used. Yeah. Guess I'll use my willpower. Public. All right.
All right. Two successes. So the first thing you notice is you watch as like the end of the hand where it is severed is slowly beginning to what would be the word?
Decompose.
Yes. As time catches up with the body that has been left behind, you can already tell that it's not going to be long before this returns to its natural state, and judging by how old you believe the regent was, it's probably going to be nothing but ash and bones and not long.
Okay.
The other thing you would notice, your hand is shaking.
Okay. Quangle will pipe up. I'm going. That's not Quangle's voice. I'm going to my study to place his hand in embalming fluid so as to preserve it. I'll meet up with you soon. Hasib, get some gloves. That's not sanitary. And he runs off.
Right then.
I don't. It doesn't matter. We just need to collect it. And Runa, get a pan. I need this garbage bin isn't working. I can't get it all in.
She'll
Hasib,
start.
go.
She'll start like picking up, just grabbing bits of flesh with Hasib and piling it into wherever he is piling it. And she's not. You can probably anyone other than Hasib could probably see she doesn't have a lot of any faith that this is going to be worth anything. It's just a gesture of solidarity, but she will help.
Oh, whether or not Hasib appreciates it, he's a bit too panicked to. Is Kessa still there? Right?
Yep.
Cass, here. Can you grab those pieces over there and the glasses? I saw the glasses fall.
Cass grabs Hasib by the forearm and just essentially makes him stand up.
Hasib stumbles up, looking
size
around.
difference.
Yeah, Hasib's short. But right over there, he points.
Hasib, I'll
I
get
just
the
start
rest.
hurting Hasib out the door.
I'll get the rest.
Geordie, make me a perception occult. This will be difficulty 8.
Okay. Is this in the room or because I'm not in there anymore? Just like
This is just a general thing.
Okay. Said perception occult.
Yep.
Yeah. Hard no, and maybe a botch depending on whether or not.
There are no botches for this one. Never mind. Continue. As if I did not bother you.
Well, maybe that's a good time. I think as maybe the camera zooms in on Jordy or someone exits the room, you see Jordy sitting at a table. He's just sitting down. The letter's unopened, not in his hand, and he's just staring forward.
I will just say outside the door is the hallway.
Okay. I'm not sure wherever the closest place to sit down Mark would have been. That
Alright.
would be what he's doing.
As you go to step forward and open the door to the place that you will know would be the closest places to sit down in. I'll just move you guys here for now. You open it up, and you find yourself. Actually, no. Roll me a d10, and Dr. Quangle, do me the same. All right. Both of you open up the doors. Separate doors, I will note. And you both find yourself in the library. Dr. Quangle, you can look across and you see Geordie has opened the door opposite yours on the other side of the library. And Geordie, you see the same of Dr. Quangle. Neither of you intended to enter this room.
Jordy freezes. I was trying to go to the my office. And it kind of turns to, unless you say something here, I think he'll turn to leave.
Jordy, it's with the recent demise of the regent, the chantry is untended. You'd be the most qualified person to do something about that. Take whatever time you need. I know this is hard for you, given your relationship, but do get this place in order. The younger ones will start to, for lack of a better phrase, freak out.
Right. I should make a call. I have to tell them about the regions. And with that, he goes to wander back more.
All right, you wander back into the hallway.
Am I able to get to my medical ward through the library?
Well, the door on the other side that Jordan enters into the hallway you just came out of. You could attempt to close the door and then reopen it.
Yeah, I'll do that.
All right then. Roll me a d10.
All right. Luck here, lady tonight. All right.
All right. As you open the door, you reveal your laboratory, or the chantry laboratory, I should say.
Okay. So I would assume I would have embalming fluid, so I would quickly, shaking hands and all, place the hand of the regent into the fluid.
All right.
So as to preserve it.
Easily done.
And when my work is done there, I'll return to the others.
All right. Do you close the door behind you?
Yes.
All right. What the rest of you doing as you're in the hallway?
To clarify, I didn't leave the room. I shoved
Okay.
Hasib out of the room.
All right then. Cass is still in the room.
Just pushed Hasib out.
Also, still, even though she was planning to leave, Maruna is also still in the room because she just told Hasib that she'd take care of the rest of it. So she's collecting
It's
bits
a little too
of
upbeat.
Adrian.
Some nice little jazz music.
I think at some point, because there's blood everywhere, like,
Oh yeah.
she's gonna taste it.
Sure. Are you using any
It's like a
specific
waste.
abilities, or are you just tasting it?
Just tasting it.
As you taste it, it tastes like ash. This is dead blood. There's no
So it
power
would
to it.
be. It would taste different than kindred.
Certainly,
blood.
normally kindred blood is a lot sweeter, or, well, yeah, more potent. There's something about it that has like a strength to it. This just tastes like dead blood, like ash. There's nothing. There's no nutrients. There's nothing to be
Yeah.
gained.
Okay. Interesting.
Hasib, who's been pushed out of the room, hands still covered in blood, looks around, blinks a few times, and I need to find. We need a shop vac or something. The quartermaster. Yes. He will have one, and Hasib is going to find a shop vac or sweeper or something that could pick up a lot of liquid.
All right, so you're gonna go and open a door.
Yep.
All right, roll me a d10.
D10. 8.
8. Right. You find yourself while I'm quickly sorting this out, is there anything anyone else is doing? Sasib is going to fetch something to clean up.
Jordy's kind of sleepwalking. You know, it's that kind of that kind of zoning out as he walks. He's intending to find his office.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever that looks like. If he turns around and he looks confused because it was literally the door he just walked back out of, he would probably try and go back in again.
All right. Right. Jordy, roll me a d10.
A 10.
All right. You managed to find your office.
He walks in slowly, puts the envelope down on the desk, sits down, and after a second of staring forward, he reaches for the phone and opens up a drawer.
All right. You reach for the phone. Who do you call?
Opening up the book, he looks for, effectively, I imagine the Tremere pretty prepared for what happens if someone in the chain of command no longer exists. So it's whatever that emergency protocol is of who he's supposed to call next up the chain. That is the number he's like looking at the book for.
All right.
That doesn't.
There
work,
is
let me
a
know.
yeah. There is a number for what is essentially the head office of the Tremere in the Americas. As you call up, put the phone to your ear, and you hear, "The number you have dialed has been disconnected."
He tries it again, just out of instinct.
"The number you have dialed has been disconnected."
I think with that, he just starts smashing the phone and then wipes it off the table.
At this point, make me another perception occult, this time difficulty 8. One success. As you destroy this phone line, you feel in your chest a feeling of disconnection from your sire, confirming to you that your sire is gone. Gone. You've heard many people describe it before, the feeling of realizing that your sire is destroyed for the last time. And there's no one else. I think you're muted, Bob.
I think with that, he just puts his head like down on the desk, just completely in a trance, in shock. Where he'll probably remain that way for a couple of minutes.
All right. With that, we cut to Hasib. Hasib, you open the door and find yourself stumbling out into the lobby of the chantry.
The lobby. Hasib is in a state of mind where he might not notice entirely that he stumbled into somewhere he wasn't expecting, and he just looks for the next door, like, not it. I need to find Quartermaster Kabar. He's somewhere.
Actually, as you
Yeah.
do look around in the lobby, there is another section that would normally lead into the warehouse where the quartermaster keeps everything. And you can already see like the metal bars that are like used to basically cordon off the two sections.
Oh, perfect. Hasib's going to run over there and try to get in.
All right, open the door to try and get into the warehouse. Roll me another d10.
Three.
All right, you find yourself stepping into the laboratory.
Oh, does he run into Dr. Quangle?
I think Dr. Quangle left because it closed the door behind him, so he was not in that room.
Yeah. Yep, I left.
The room itself is empty. Except for a new hand that's in a jar.
Hasib will look over his shoulder back towards the door he just came through and do a double take. We did not renovate the quartermaster's stores to be the laboratory, I don't think. Hasib will blink a few more times before heading back through the door he just went through.
Alright. You close the door behind you?
I don't think he does. I think he's just at this point trying to get from room to room as fast as possible. So he just.
I think at that point we will cut to Maruna and Kess. As you are within the room. What are you doing specifically? Are you just trying to clean up best you can?
So Kess is not trying to clean up at all.
Alright.
He'll start by kind of looking at Maruna, who is cleaning. And he'll kind of stand awkwardly next to her for a second. You know that's useless, right?
If it makes Hasib feel better, it's not useless.
I don't think putting the broken pieces back will make him feel better.
I know. I said I would.
Maybe go check on him.
I will.
I kind of threw him out in the hallway, so.
What about you?
I'm gonna look into this a bit. Just go.
Maybe I can help.
He needs your help more than I do right now. By quite a lot.
It's just the beginning.
The fun thing, Maruna, is that it never ended. Go and find Hasib.
She'll start to head towards the door. As she does, she'll kind of look to the where the mirror was. Is the wooden frame still intact?
Relatively. There are some
With the
bits that are like
carvings?
yeah, but there are like some bits where like some of the glass is embedded into it, or bits of it have like splintered from the explosion. But it's relatively intact.
I think she would I think catch a glimpse of that, and as she was kind of nearing towards the door, just something stops her. One thing first. And she's gonna go over to it. And she's going to use a combined discipline power thaumaturgical sight.
Okay. Tell me how thaumaturgical sight works.
With this ability, the user can see magical auras in much the same way as aura perception, but it extends to all kindred blood magic.
Right.
Generally, it's stronger than magic. Perception plus occultural. The user stares at an item or area in question for a few moments and makes a perception plus occult roll. For a single success, the power user can determine that magic is present. If she gets 3 successes, she can recognize the ritual or path in question, as long as she knows it herself. For 5 successes, she can recognize any thaumaturgical effect regardless of whether she has seen it before.
Perception occult?
Yep.
Standard diff.
Apply wound penalty.
Well, you don't have any wound penalty at the moment. So.
Okay. I didn't think so.
Four successes. You can tell that whatever magic was here is gone. The ritual has been broken. There are like remnants of the blood magic that was used to enchant this mirror before, but it is destroyed.
Okay. She'll just kind of sign there. It's broken anyway. Never mind.
Make me a perception and... Actually, this is going to be wits occult. And this will be difficulty 7. Three successes. Suddenly, Maruna, everything goes dark as you find yourself in a lightless void. As you look out in the distance, you see what looks to be a giant obsidian stone pyramid. You see flowing from it look to be waterfalls of blood. They flow down the corners and the crevices of this massive pyramid, flowing from the top all the way to the bottom. You then watch as this pyramid cracks. Large slashes appear across it as the cracks spider outwards from the top, down. You see as the rivers of blood segment, as if breaking in 2, and then 3, and then 4, as if each section of flowing blood is separated from the rest. until there is no flowing blood at all. Just trickles that seem to almost bleed out from the pyramid itself. The cracks continue to form until finally a large segment of the pyramid falls away, collapsing into dust, before the next side does, and the next side does, until there is only one side next that teeters, before eventually crumbling into dust as well. Something horrible has happened. Something that has forever changed the clan of Tremere. Kess, you watch as Maruna gets up to move out of the room before she suddenly collapses onto the ground and begins to writhe and shake, as if in the middle of a seizure. Which is odd, because generally that doesn't happen to kindred.
I think there's a lot going on, and I think despite any good intentions, I think he freezes and just stares for a while until it's over, because it's a lot of things, and so he kind of just stiffens and stares from across the room where he is.
Maruna, you come to lying on the ground among the blood once more.
She'll kind of sit up suddenly and look around. It's the pyramid. It's crumbling. It crumbled. It's gone. It's not. There's no. Things are different. Forever, they're different.
Okay. So the pyramid crumbled.
Yes.
He kind of nods. He's not looking straight at Maruna. It's very 1,000-yard stare off. And he nods kind of slowly. And then he takes a very deep breath, despite the fact that he doesn't necessarily need to. Okay. Go get Hasib before he runs screaming from the building, please.
Okay.
Okay.
We're not bringing him back in here, right?
No.
Okay. She'll get up and kind of uselessly wipe blood off of her skirt. Of course, there's just more blood on her hands, so it doesn't really do anything. And she'll head out and say,
The minute she leaves the room, Tess starts going through everything.
Mm-hmm.
Every drawer, every inch of the room, trying to understand what just happened and why it happened. So he'll look at pieces of the mirror, he'll start looking through drawers, through bookshelves, through anything he can possibly, underside of chairs. He is completely going through everything in this room.
Alright. That can be done. However, with that, we're gonna cut over to Quangle. What is Quangle up to at this point in time?
All right. So, having left his laboratory, I think Quenkel is trying to find the largest group of individuals. Um, he knows Jordy is off making a phone call, as he should be. So, he'll go and find Maruna and Kess. Hasib shouldn't be too far behind. Surely Hasib's not babbling about the chantry randomly. So yeah, he's looking for Maruna and Cass.
All right. Well, you would step towards the direction that the room they were in as you run into Maruna, stepping out to find uh, Hasib.
Dr.
Ah,
Dr. Quengle. Hi. Did you put it the hand did you is it taken care of?
yes, dear Maruna, the hand is taken care of. It is an embalming fluid, hopefully to stop the necrotic processes.
We need to find Hasib. Remember what I said. Remember I told you something was coming.
Yes, you said something was coming, and it apparently is here now.
The pyramid is broken.
At that, Quangle would pause. Did you feel it? The snapping sensation.
I felt it, and just now I saw it.
Consequences are great. All right, I'll
Intelligence
go and find
occult.
Jordy.
Difficult 8 from both of you.
Intelligence occult. Ooh. So this would be a part of willpower path virtues.
No, this is a roll.
Roll dice. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
What did you say the difficulty was?
Difficulty 8.
8.
Ooh. Okay. Mint. Specialization.
Alright, Maruna got an exceptional success. 4 successes. Alright. So you used a point of willpower.
Yes.
So that should... Yep, so that gives you 3 successes. It adds a success. Both of you come to a realization at around the same time as you look at each other. You don't feel the bond to the Council of Seven anymore. The blood bond that unites all Tremere together is gone. In fact, neither of you, well, actually, this wouldn't matter for Maruna. It would matter for you, Dr. Quangle. You don't feel that connection to your sire anymore. That innate
Not
bond
mistaken.
between sire and child has been severed.
Oh no.
Is at this point, I
Yeah.
would like you all to note any blood bonds you have to a Tremere of any kind do not exist anymore. Just something to keep in mind.
Quangle will put his hand on his chest and just say, fascinating.
It means you feel it now, don't you?
Yes. This is not good. Not good at all.
That's why everything's breaking. The light bulb, the plants. Have you noticed anything else strange?
The lock outside doesn't work, but I assume that was just due to negligence. But that could be a part of it. We must gather everyone in the chantry. You find Hasib, I'll find Jordy, and we'll all meet in the parlor. How does that sound?
All right.
Okay. We'll get through this. We will get through this. And I'll move at a non-leisurely pace to find Jordy. Not
Okay.
rushed, but not leisurely.
Marina
With
will make
that-
sure to call
okay.
back through the door to let Kess know that we're meeting in the parlor before she
All right.
completely breaks off to go find Hasib.
Sounds good. With that, Hasib, you're just trying doors at this point, right?
Yeah, but Hasib, something has clicked in his mind, and he's sporting a big smile now, as he is holding a sheaf of papers, and he's going to look for the others. He's stopped looking for a vacuum. He might have some smeared like blood on his face now, but there's a smile, and it doesn't really match his smeared face.
All right. I think with that, you'd run into Maruna.
There you are, Maruna. Look here. Take a paper, and he hands a bloodied piece of scrap paper. Here, I found. Okay, it must be all a test. The regent is testing us on our ability to comprehend extreme circumstances. So we need to gather everyone and come up to and figure out why. What we do next, right? I think this is brilliant, really.
Marina kind of stares for a minute. Just. Well, we're all going to be meeting in the parlor.
Oh, wonderful! That will expedite our troubleshooting and planning. Okay, I think I have enough papers for everyone. Is someone calling the rest of the chantry? You know, those who may not have been
Yes.
aware that we are being tested.
I don't. Hasib, I don't think this is a test.
Well, that's exactly what the regent wants us to think. And Hasib smiles way too wide. I think we just need to find the others and start planning. We just have to figure out what the regent wants us to do. You know, in this fake scenario. You know.
Well, either way, we're meeting in the parlor. So, let's go. Are you all right?
Of course. I was quite startled at first, but you know, like my sire always says, you know, Sib, you just need to shut up and get on with the night and make sure you don't make a fool of yourself. So I have the papers here, and we can begin planning.
Hasib, stop for a second. Do you can't you feel that things are different?
Sib blinks for a second, his smile waning. I feel a lot of things right now. I feel like the regent will be angry if we don't if we are too slow with the planning. So I don't really want to think. So I could sort it later. I think maybe.
He'll just kind of sigh and let's go.
Right. Nasib smiles again as he as we leave.
Right. With that, we cut to Quangle and Geordie. As Quangle, you step into the office that Geordie found, seeing. Well, what does he see, actually?
You see a completely smashed phone, on the floor, along with the rest of the contents that normally sit neatly on the top of his desk, just all cleared off. The only thing that's still on the desk is the letter, and Jordy is just staring forward and doesn't even notice kind of as you enter.
Quangle, he enters, he views all of this, looks to Geordie. Have you composed yourself yet?
And it snaps over and sees you there. And then quickly goes to grab the letter. What is it, Dr. Quingle?
What is it? Things are changing rapidly, and we have to change with it. Now, I have called a meeting in the parlor on your behalf. This isn't me trying anything. I've called a meeting in the parlor where you will need to inform everyone of the demise of the regent, including those who were not present for his demise. It would do that you compose yourself before you do so, so as to, I don't know, so as to give off confidence, Mr. Geordie.
He nods and stands up. Right, yeah, I was going to do that. He takes the phone book that he had, the little black leather bound book that he had, and he hands it to Quangle, and he says, see that someone calls the executioner and lets him know.
Yes, I'll make sure that gets done. Come along now, Geordie. We have to go.
With that, he kind of stops and reaches for the envelope, and I think following along with Quangle, he starts to open it up.
All right. As you open up the letter, you pull it out. You see that it says the following. To all members of the House of Tremere, I regret to inform you that our connection to Vienna is gone. We have no choice but to assume that Vienna has fallen. We ask that you do not come to us with panic, but have faith that the pyramid will stand eternal. And then you see written below, hastily, as if written in a rush, the pyramid has fallen. Save what you can. Do what you must. You recognize the handwriting to be the regent, your sire. Quite possibly the last note he has ever penned.
I need to make a roll, Mark. I'm sorry. He looks to Quangle as they're kind of walking together, and you see Quangle sees him drop the letter. And he just stops in place.
Quangle audibly harumphs. Harumph, he says. He looks to Geordie, looks at the letter, then looks at Geordie. I assume the contents were not to our benefit?
The pyramid has fallen. This must be some kind of hoax.
I don't believe the death of the regent is a hoax. I don't believe what we're feeling. Maruna, you know she's a sensitive soul. Maruna received a vision that corroborates a feeling I've had internally. Search yourself, Geordie. You know your bonds to be broken. Things are different now.
Must be those fucking Banu Hakim.
Maybe.
All right.
Yes.
Right. We'll. Then who do we call if the regent's gone and the others are gone? And how? I know we'll get the chantry in order and wait for orders to come.
Geordie, if there's no pyramid, there's no orders. We are as Ronin now, samurais without masters. Potentially. Maybe someone will call in a few months, but that won't help us if we're all dead. We have to shore up, in my opinion. Get that light bulb fixed, the locks changed. Do something about those plants. All things the regent told you needed to be done, so we're on the right path. But first things first, you need to pick that letter up and compose yourself.
Right. And he kind of bends over and does that. Normally, he would probably leave it there just to defy you.
Let me know when you're ready. I think this is very awkward for Quangle. So he's been looking a little bit awkward, just kind of looking around, making sure no one can see. Despite his rivalry with Jordy, it's there's no hatred there. At least not from Quangle's perspective. There's no hatred there. So he doesn't want them to see you cry.
Yeah, after a couple of moments, he stands up tall, fixes his posture a bit. All right, let's go then.
Lead the way.
I'll start to walk in the direction of the parlor, I guess.
All right, then. With that, we cut over to Kess. Kess, why don't you make me a perception investigation?
Okay.
It's difficulty 7.
Oh. Sorry, it got mad at me.
Oh,
I fixed it. Sorry, what's the difficulty again?
7.
Exceptional success.
Very nice. It's 5 successes, because ones don't count for this one. With that, you're able to search around, finding some pieces of the glass mirror that are still intact that have the symbols on them. You collect them all into a pile. You go around looking at some of the books that are on the shelves. Many of them just seem to be nothing much of importance. But you find a few that are. One is a book that entails how the chantry works and how one would go about changing over control of the chantry to another individual. It talks about something known as the chantry core, which is a room within the chantry. Specifically in the basement of the chantry. You would also find... Oh, God.
I was gonna say, I also went through all of his drawers.
Yeah. As you go through all of his
So-
drawers, you find a lot of papers. A lot of them seem to be different reports that he has collected or sent out. And one of them specifically is a letter that has the broken seal of. Actually, why don't you make me an intelligence and politics, if you have
Ooh.
politics.
I don't know if I do. I'm gonna roll it. We're gonna find out.
All right. This will be difficulty. So just roll it, whatever.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I already went through it. I can change it.
No, again, because 8 is what you needed, so you got 1 success.
Okay.
You can tell that the seal is a broken seal of someone high up in the pyramid of the Tremere, possibly a lord or a pontiff. Someone who either looks over a large, sizable part of the country, or perhaps even the entirety of the Americas.
Can I read it?
Yes. As you do, it says, "The meeting will be held in the usual place. Urgent. Great matters need to be discussed." And you see a number of symbols that are on the bottom of it.
I pocket it.
Alright.
Yeah, he pretty much gathers everything he gets from looking into this.
Yep.
And he's gonna look for a bag because I can't just come in with arms full of books.
We'll say there's a bag. You got 5 successes.
Yeah, he's gonna
Or
throw
like a
stuff in a
box.
bag. Yeah. He's gonna close it. But he had heard it shouted through the door that there was a meeting, so I think he'll slowly start making his way that direction after he's sure he has looked through everything in this room.
Alright. At this point, we return to... That's the wrong tab. Here we go. We return to Maruna and Hasib as they begin making their way towards the rest of the group. One of the doors opens, and stepping forth is the quartermaster. Steps forward, looking around wild-eyed, and goes, "You two! What the fuck happened?"
We'll explain. Just come with us. We're having a meeting in the parlor.
We are.
Parlor's this
we must
way, as he points behind him, like from the room he's in. At least I think so.
She'll peer into the room.
As you do, you see one of the doors behind him leads to the red room of the parlor. The room he just came out of is the quartermaster's shed. The quartermaster's warehouse.
But it should be the door to the parlor.
No, there's a door behind him, like in the room,
okay.
that leads to the parlor.
All right. She'll go to open it.
Do you find yourself in the red room, the red parlor?
And here, Quartermaster Kapar, here's your paper. You will need it. We will all need the papers for our brainstorming on the test is coming up. So prepare yourself. I'm sure the others will know more. But yes, something definitely happened.
He turns to you, Maruna. Has he fucking lost it?
Sometimes when the truth is difficult to process, we find other ways of processing it. It's natural. But
Shakes his head and
the
turns
regent.
around. What?
The regent is. He's gone.
What do you mean gone? I thought he was supposed to be back by now.
She's gonna kind of like lift her hands that are covered in blood and gesture to all of the blood that is both on her and Hasib. Gone. Gone.
His eyes widen for a moment before he just kind of... Okay. I'll be in the parlor. As he turns around and makes his way off to the parlor room.
She'll follow.
Yeah, Seeb's barely paying attention because he's scribbling notes. He has all kinds of notes already.
Oh, damn it. Hold on. Alright, I think with that, you all meet in the parlor.
Oh, we're all there now.
Yeah.
All right, Hasib is handing out bloodied paper with a smile on his face as people come through the door. Like we're walking into a study session or something.
Upon walking in and noticing the bloody paper, Quengle will look at the paper, look at Hasib, look at the paper again, and then look at Hasib and say, "Do you believe you are being tested, Hasib?"
I think I'm pretty sure this is all a test, and it is quite a convincing one. I haven't had a test like this before. I'm excited to work on it with all of you. Here's your paper. Sorry about the red on it. It's from
That's from where, Hasib? Tell me where the red is from.
Possibly from the test initialization in the regent's room. Nasib kind of looks down at his clothes. It's like he's seeing the blood again for the first time and shakes his head. But I have pens. I have pens for everyone. I always keep a couple extra pens, and he reaches into one of his pockets and pulls out like literally a dozen pens.
Hasib. Oh, okay. Give me a pen and a piece of paper.
Here. Yes. Of course. One for everyone. I mean, I'm not sure who should lead the ideas onto how to address this test, this emergency test. But I have the supplies here, so we can get an ideas going.
Right. I'll let Jordy handle this. This is a Jordy thing. Quengle will walk in and sit down. But he doesn't have the heart to tell.
Jordy's just standing there quiet. He's kind of looking around at everyone. He looks composed, but just very distant. Not normally. It looks like he could go into frenzy on anyone at any moment. He just doesn't have that look on his face right now. He looks around. Is this everyone? Where is our head of security?
With that, the quartermaster would look around before speaking up. Last I heard, she was in the basement.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll have to inform her later then, and the others. There, something happened. Everyone should be aware that the pyramid, as we know it, has fallen. We will do our part in this, which starts in securing the chantry until such a time as new orders arise from whomever of our kind remains to instruct us further when the time comes. In the meantime, we're aware that the children of Akim are present here in the city, and so we must ensure that the chantry door is secured and locked, and then he just kind of trails off.
Orders? We're not getting orders.
Not yet, no. We can't all be dead everywhere. At some point, an elder will come to and make themselves known, and at that time, we can continue to rebuild the pyramid.
We don't need orders to rebuild.
I mean, we need structure. We're built on structure.
And now it's broken. But we're not. We're still here.
At this point, Cass, as you've been going through the documents that you found in the regent's desk, you find one that seems to be a report that he has sent, and well, one that he has received, and then he has sent part of it onto the head of security. Specifically, it mentions a failing of the blood. That there has been an investigation into claims that the blood of the Tremere is fading. However, that is all you find.
Point of order, Quango pipes up. I believe we are all of one mind when it comes to securing the chantry. I think we can all agree to that. Does anyone know or have specific information on how we would do that, where we're not walking into rooms that we think is the bathroom, and it's not the bathroom, it's Jordy's office?
The magic. I don't know where the source is, but wherever it is, we need to fix it because that's broken. And that if the magic is broken, everything's broken.
We need to transfer power over to the new regent. That's how you fix it.
How?
Well, we're going to have to go find our defense master and go looking for it, I suppose. Right now it's going to be a little fun given the revolving doors, but
This brings up a good point, as Hasib notes, poking his paper. Did we have a emergency beacon that it would be very handy in this time, in these kinds of situations? So gathering all the people that, the regent's going to be quite angry we're not all at this meeting, I think.
Hasib,
Yes, Kiss.
The
Should I
regent
start?
said, and
That's
we
what
watched him die,
uh,
and so did you.
the regent is old and powerful, and I'm sure
Old
it
and
has been quite.
powerful people die every day. It didn't matter. The pyramid's gone, and they're all gone.
This is right.
See, blinks and he just shakes his head. He taps the paper again. I this it's not possible. All of my studies show that the pyramid is unbreakable. So how are we jumping to this conclusion and not just that this is some large test of us neonates? I mean, they do this all the time, right? We always have tests.
Not like this. You can feel it, Hasib.
And what a way to test us, to make us even feel this emergency. Okay, so what are our orders? I can get security cameras if we're looking to shore up defenses without the regent present. I can get the security cameras. We could get the emergency beacon. We need everyone here. Every member of the chantry needs to be involved in this plan.
Koingo will put one of his trembling hands on Hasib's shoulder. Hasib, it's okay. You saw it happen. I saw it happen. We all saw it, with the exception of the quartermaster. You have to accept this. People die. Pyramids fall and they rise. You have to accept this, Hasib.
I have read books about illusion magics. I don't know if the regent can do that, but I mean he's old and powerful, so
I'm
It's
the
not
worst.
your fault.
Kez, where is Hasib sitting? Or is Hasib sitting or standing?
Hasib's sitting at this. He has like a couple pieces of paper already that he's jotting notes onto.
I need to roll something. I don't know what I'm gonna roll, but I'm gonna roll
Self-control?
something.
It's a virtue.
Yeah, that seems like an apt choice. Where is that? Is
It's
that
in
under the
the-
willpower path virtues?
Yep.
Yeah. I'm
Oh.
learning.
If you look and see, I think Maruna's definitely watching Kess, because if he does anything, she's gonna try to intervene.
He does something to a degree. Different than I was thinking. So better. I think none of you have seen Cass angry. That's never a thing that existed. He is a constant level. And it's calm. He does not smile. He does not give any sort of emotional reaction to things. And for the first time, you kind of see him roll his neck like he is mad. And he raises his voice. I'm not going to, because I appreciate not blasting y'all's eardrums. Hasib is enough. It's not a test. It's not a game. They're all dead. Pull it together. You're not a child.
Hasib freezes at the loud voice, looking over to Kess. He slowly nods, but at the same time he's writing something on the notebook without looking at the paper. And those who can see it see Kess tricked, check mark.
I think Kess balls of fist and looks at Jordy. We need to transfer the power to someone. That's more than likely going to be you. Are you ready to do it?
Well, normally this sort of thing should be approved by the higher ranks before. And he
There's
looks
no one
at
to approve
Engel.
it.
Well, Jody, it's only usurpation if there's a legitimate ruler. So it's not technically usurpation.
We should all go to the basement.
As we're going down, can we stop by the phone and we can call Karin, the head of security, my sire Philomena. We can call. We need, this. This is important that people are informed and need to be here for these decisions.
You are
Well,
correct.
That's true.
we do need to make calls, but we should clean here first. Secure the area, right? He kind of looks around.
Is that an order, Jordy?
Yes, we have to. We don't have a choice. We have to go. We all have everyone to the basement. And with that, he probably walks out of the room well ahead of everyone else.
Hasib, you heard him. To the basement.
See,
Yeah.
doesn't protest, but looks a little worried. But orders are orders, and Hasib will follow.
With that, who would like to roll a d10 to open the door?
I haven't gotten to yet. I want to do it.
Alright,
Yeah.
roll a d10.
I haven't gotten to play the door game. I got a 5.
Ooh.
The door opens up. Into a dark, stone-filled room. You see a number of cells have been set up, and a number of circles, almost like ritual circles that have been set up on the ground as well. As you step in, you see that there are 2 bodies lying dead on the walls. Their organs and blood have been torn out of their chest. As you see on the ground, next to one of these large circles, is a pile of dust and bones.
Do I recognize this room?
Yes, this is the prison, also known as the dungeon.
That's not right. Alright, try again. And shut the door. Reopen it.
At which point, a large hand stops the door from closing. Large gray fingers that slowly pull the door out as you look up to see a terrifying creature. Stone-like skin. Large, bat-like wings that extend from its back down in the position that they're not being used, and large claws sit on the large hand as it pulls the door open, and you all are facing a giant gargoyle.
One of our residents.
As you take the time to focus and see what to know who to recognize who it is, You watch as the figure quickly falls to its knees, as it grumbles out, "Masters." It is indeed one of the gargoyles of the chantry.
Good. We needed to fix security, and now we have some protection. Please stand.
You hear the creaking and cracking of stone as the large creature stands up straight. Its face is far more like a dog's maw. Hideous and strange.
Is anyone else in here?
Its head turns with a creaking of stone. No one else. But the walls say there were. The stone whispers. The unbowed has broken free.
The Unbowed? I am is that a name that rings any bells?
Not for Hasib.
I was gonna ask the same thing.
Make a general intelligence roll. And that is for Geordie and Dr. Quangle. You can do so. For you, Geordie, it will be difficulty 7. For you, Quangle, it will be difficulty 8. The rest of you would not know who the Unbowed is.
It's intelligence, but what would the ability be?
I think it'd just be none. Is there a way to put none?
You can just pick something you have 0 in if you know that you don't have anything in something.
Okay. And we're saying 8, right?
8 for you, 7 for Geordie.
No problem. No. Submit. Oh. Ooh. Hey, okay.
Alright. Geordie, you remember the Regent mentioning something about the Unbowed. The Unbowed was a problematic servant that he has been working on regaining control over. To that effect, he had put the chief of security in charge of that, watching over it and making sure it doesn't get up to anything. You know the Unbowed is very dangerous from what you've heard. And the fact that it's escaped means it's somewhere around here. In the chantry.
He looks over at Quangle. Does Quangle know anything?
With one success, you've maybe heard whispers of the Unbowed, but you wouldn't know anything about them.
And Jody, this fact eludes me. Please inform the group.
There is a enemy loose in the chantry.
What kind of enemy?
I don't really know. The head of security was assigned the detail. The rest of the information eludes me. It was being kept.
As is.
Hearing,
Go ahead.
no, hearing that, Cass starts walking because they haven't closed the door. Cass starts walking towards the pile of ash.
Stand before it.
Is there there anything that would help me identify it? Clothes, jewelry?
Perception, alertness.
Can I land a die by assisting?
Sure thing. You can have one extra die.
And Hasib doesn't look perturbed. He actually looks excited. Oh, this is an interesting variable to add. I'll check the bodies on the walls.
What's the difficulty? Sorry.
Oh, difficulty is 8.
Two successes.
2 successes as you rifle through the ashes. You find a necklace that has a lock on it. This one you recognize as belonging to the head of security.
He holds it up for Jordy to see.
I see. He looks to the gargoyle. Do you know where it is?
No. This place is not where it's supposed to be. Everything is wrong. The stones are upset.
He looks across, basically looking for anyone to give any sort of advice. Something he's not known to do.
What's your name? Myrna is asking the gargoyle.
I am called Canem.
Hanem.
That is what they call me. That and eat. Slave. Serve.
What do you prefer?
Whatever masters wish to call me.
I wish to call you whatever you prefer.
It takes a moment to process that. I do not understand.
It's a long name.
Yeah, he just seems confused.
You can think about it. You should keep looking for the basement, right?
We need to find the center of the chantry in the basement. I have the book with me. He took the book with him. So I have
Did you check that
direction.
book out?
This belonged to the regent, so no.
Michael grumbles.
But the bodies on the wall, were they old or new or?
They
Like-
were some of the many ghouls that belonged to the chantry. Specifically, they worked under the head of security.
All right, so under the specific mindset that Hasib is on, he's over there like looking at the wounds, note jotting down how possibly they were ripped open. Not at all facing the fact that there are more dead people in front of him.
Intelligence medicine, difficulty 7.
Oh, what do I got for medicine? Oh, that's not his forte, but He said 7.
Yep.
2.
2. These people look like something very big has torn into them. Something very sharp has literally torn into them and destroyed a lot of their organs. There was a lot of blood. Dead blood.
See,
From what
I
you can
see.
tell,
Josh.
probably within the last hour. Maybe even less.
These are quite the convincing mannequin bodies here. Looks like we are dealing with someone quite large, can rip people to shreds, possibly with their own fingers or claws. Sir Gargoyle, what does the unbowed look like? Or maybe Jordy, you know, what does the physical description?
You've never seen the unbowed Journey.
Yeah, he just shakes his head. I don't know.
No, it is pretty.
Pretty, like appearance-wise, it is pretty. Is it very large? Does he have these nice wings like you?
Nicer. Pretty wings.
I see.
This is fascinating, but Jordy, I think we need to make our way to the heart of the chantry so as to impose our will on this place again. Um,
Yeah, we need to continue to the basement.
Would you
and
like
all of us are going.
my help? Or should I try and find prisoner?
Come with us.
Yes, master.
And with that, he'll lead the way, I suppose, hesitantly.
Right then.
the doctor will also congratulate Hasib on his successful medicine-related check. You know.
Oh, thank you, Dr. Quangle. I mean, I don't know much about the internal organs, but you know, all these notes, I think we're going to ace this part. You know, all the discoveries we've made.
Yeah. Yes, Ace. Right. Yes.
Right then. Alright then, with that. Who would like to open the next door?
I can do it. A D10, right?
Yes.
Okay. Ooh. My luck's run out.
A 2. With that, the door opens. Revealing a large stone room. The room is completely blank, aside from what looks to be a small, swirling orb of energy. Dark, with flashes of green within, as it continues to spin and turn.
Does this match the book description of the
From what you can
core?
tell, yeah. This looks like it is the core.
Okay. Cass is now diligently reading directions on how to write everything and essentially assign a leader.
All right. It is quite simple. Once the previous leader has disconnected themselves from um, the core, the next must simply step forward, reach into the core, and focus on one's power to draw connection and power and dominance over the chantry. It does mention that there are, in some cases, risks associated with it. There are stories of those who put their hand into the core instantly turning to dust. It simply says if you are strong enough of will, you will achieve control.
I think Cass stares at the book for a second. And then he's going to... So, how big is this room? Just generally.
It's maybe like... 20 feet across
You can
in
just
each
say
direction.
small, medium, big. Okay. Alright. He's going to grab... Yeah. He's gonna grab Jordy by the arm and just kind of half drag him to the opposite corner of everyone else for a second.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing?
And he's gonna put his hands on Jordy's shoulders. What you're about to do is difficult. So, you're going to put your hand in the orb. And you're going to focus on your power and putting it in place over this chantry.
Okay.
You need to get back to the way you were. You are the regent. You have to be confident and sure of that. It's not a question anymore.
Right. Good point.
He looks frustrated. Jordy, if you don't get this right, something really bad is going to happen. So, I need you to go back to being an ass and ordering people around and being very, very sure of that, and I need you to get there. I don't know what you have to do in your head to get there, but get there. Because I can't. I will fail. Hasib will fail, without a doubt. Maruda will fail. Wangle, I'm pretty sure, will fail.
He shakes his head, not understanding exactly the risk, but he's just like, I'll do what I have to.
You will die and we will die if you don't.
Well, we're all gonna die if we don't do something here.
Yeah. So pull this place to heal and do it quickly. And he's gonna let go of Jordy and step towards the orb and stand next to it.
He's gonna take a second to try and compose himself, Mark. But I think as he goes to step for the orb, he is quite uncertain in himself. Realistically, I don't think that's changing from a conversation.
No.
Also just gonna keep a really close eye on this whole situation. I'm trying to see if I have anything that I can do.
The time of Quangle approaches.
The age of Quangle.
The
Can-
age of Quangle.
Hasib is watching and taking notes, but he's also watching the door behind us because now he knows this unbowed variable has been added.
Once, oh, go ahead.
Yes. What does the book say exactly?
Our regent's going to stick his hand into the orb and has to impose his will on everything. And if he isn't strong enough or sure enough, it will go badly.
So, should we wait until he is sure enough?
Will he be?
Wait, are we talking about Georgie? He is the most qualified. I mean, he has led us this whole time. I mean, he's the whip too, right? So, of course he can do it. I mean, this sounds logical. It seems like what the regent would want us to do.
Very good, Hasib. Now, is what the regent would want us to do, implying that the regent is?
It's, part of the test. The regent is watching all of this.
So
I
close.
think Maruna's gonna go up to Jordy and just kind of look him in the eye, which isn't really something she does very often with you specifically. Do you feel like you're ready to do this?
I think it coming from Maruna specifically. He gives a look of annoyance. And he's like, of course, yes. Why wouldn't I be? And with that, he's gonna walk over and do it.
Alright then. Jordy, roll your willpower, difficulty 7.
It was
There's not a
nice
way for
knowing
us
y'all.
To assist?
Yes, sir. Can we?
Is there a way for us to
Nope.
assist? Can we put our hand on his shoulder or
Nope.
something? One of us had to do it, and it felt like we were all gonna fail. Oh my
Alright.
god.
Jordy, you take a point of aggravated damage as you feel your arm burning inside of this thing.
Ah, what the hell?
As you try to pull your arm out, you can't. It's stuck there.
He starts to panic.
Gonna try to pull him out. Gonna try to pull.
Grab, try and
Out.
pull. It's not budging. It's not budging at all.
I stick my hand in it with his.
Alright then, both of you make willpower rolls, difficulty 7.
Why not? Let's go. It's gonna be fine.
The end of the campaign as we all get sucked into the core.
I'll get sucked into the core.
We can't pass the gauntlet.
One by one.
Ask me if I want to use willpower on my willpower roll. Yeah, that would.
Technically you can, you just lose a point of willpower.
Success. I got 3 successes.
Alright. Alright then. As both of you stick your hands in this large orb, you both feel this connection to it. And then a connection to the wellspring of power that it represents. Both of you find yourself standing in this vast landscape, as you can feel yourselves connected not only to each other, but to the chantry itself. To the point of power this represents, you see the world as a bunch of lines intersecting and crossing upon each other as power flows from one direction to the other. You both realize that you are in this place together.
Do I know what this place is?
Intelligence occult. Difficulty 8.
Can I also roll it?
Sure. One success.
2 successes.
One success. 2 successes. For you, Geordie, you think you might be seeing, like, the astral plane, or some sort of representative of this metaphysical force, this world that exists connected to ours. For you, Cass, you feel like this is more of your own personal mindscape connecting with whatever this orb is, as if the orb itself is its own mind. And it's kind of showing you something. Something of its own understanding, not necessarily of yours.
Okay, that wasn't my plan.
What happened? He looks down at his hand. Is there any markings from...
As you look down at your hand, you see that it's partly see-through. As if you were some sort of astral self, or perhaps even a ghost. As you look over, you notice the same of Kess. Partly see-through.
This is the orb. So it said we had to use our own power and impose our will and mold it to what we needed it to be. I don't think there's a way for me not to do this, so apparently we're both doing it.
Doing what?
What
He's just looking around. He's a bit frustrated now. There's no directions. No instruction.
Just because there's no instructions doesn't mean there's not a solution. So looking at, you said it's a landscape with different paths leading places, right?
Yep. Different,
there a
like,
place where
lines
you have-
that intersect.
Converge. Where all
There are numerous places Where they all converge? Not particularly. At least not that you can see from this current point of view.
Cass reaches out and touches one of the paths with a single finger.
You watch as it almost bends and moves to your touch. As if you've pushed it.
Can I differentiate the paths at all? Is there any way for me to see?
You can see some of the paths definitely seem different. Maybe a slight different color. But color's not the right word either. In this place you don't see in color, you see in something deeper. But you feel like you could move them. Or adjust them. Or change something about this place. You need only reach out.
So we start changing things. I don't know what yet, but we're going to figure it out. Jordy, start putting things where you feel like they should be. Trust your gut.
He seems to study it, but to him it's just a series of lines, right?
It's what they appear to be.
Right. To him.
Does he picture something else in his mind? Or does he just see it for what it is? Or what it appears to be?
I think I think things are calm enough right now. He says, so this is the power of the chantry. And I think if there's one person that probably knows like the exact layout of the chantry and where everything belongs, it's probably him. So
with that, we
I'll
watch
try
as
to-
the world around you begins to shift and change. As you find yourself standing in the chantry once more. Go ahead. Anything else you want to add to it?
No, are we back with the others then? Like same room
Nope.
again? Okay. Just looks like the chantry now?
Yes. Specifically, it's what you see the chantry as. Your perception.
With that,
Do
he'll
I?
start... Go ahead.
No, do I see it change to or just him?
No, you see it as well.
Okay.
He'll start to... Does it look arranged properly, or does it look arranged like out of order?
It feels as if it is currently arranged out of order.
He'll start trying to make order out of it then, whatever that might look like, by
Alright.
moving things into the right place.
Make a willpower roll difficulty 6.
Three successes.
Everything is... succumbs to your will. Don't even have to make any gestures or movements, it just does. You supplant your will over whatever it is the space you are in, and everything becomes as it should be. Every piece in its right place. Not a corner or a bit or a speck of dust out of order. With that, you see a chain appear on the ground.
He looks down. And he'll bend over to retrieve it.
As you pick it up, the scape changes until it looks as if you are back in the room where this orb was. But instead of an orb, there is a figure. The figure is almost like a shadow as it begins to shift and change. And you realize that you now hold onto its chains. It looks up to you and mouths wordlessly, its face not quite formed.
Would I know what this is?
Intelligence Occult, difficulty 9.
Two successes.
It seems as if it's a physical manifestation of whatever powers the core. Whatever powers the chantry. Whatever energies the chantry pulls from to function. This is its manifestation.
Cass will move to stand next to Jordy.
Do we see the others now, or are we kind of still in our...
You're still in that kind of strange reflection of reality.
He'll pull at the chain to see if it will move with him,
It does.
almost like a pet.
Then watch as the figure reaches up, holding its hand out to yours. You watch as the face changes to that of your sire, the Regent. He reaches out his hand to yours.
I think there's a legitimate look of sadness on Jordy's eye having to see him again. And he'll extend a hand.
The hand takes yours, and you hear the voice. This power is yours now, child. Use it to protect what you must. The house cannot fall. The pyramid will not fall. You will not be alone. We stand as one. House and blood. With that, we see from the stones, blood begins to seep out, starting to fill the chamber up as it comes up to your ankles and then your knees, slowly growing higher and higher. The figure disappears under the blood, but its hand is still out, grasping yours, as you feel that ringing in your mind. The blood. The blood. The blood. As we cut to the outside, you all watch as Jordy and Kess's...
Kess.
I'm learning names. Second episode. Jordy and Kess's hands are within this glowing, swirling orb. Before finally, their hands are shunted out, and they are pushed backwards. You both come to as you are now in the room. You all watch as what was once the chaotically spinning orb is still. It turns slightly, but only as if it's twisting on like a dime. But other than that, it's focused.
It worked. You guys did it.
Cass looks at his hand.
Your
there
hand
anything
is
wrong with
intact.
it?
No.
Okay.
What about me? Is there visible
Oh, yeah.
signs of the? Yeah.
It looks
His
as
hand.
if like
Does it look like burned?
it looks as like it's been eaten away. Like you can see underneath where like the dead muscles are, and the skin has been essentially dissolved.
All right then. It's time to secure the chantry.
And find whatever that thing is.
Exactly.
If it is dangerous, should we stay as a group as we look through the building? If you have control now, Mr. Whip, we could make a sweep. If we had security cameras, I could tell you immediately where he went, but you know.
So, what
With
are
that-
your orders?
He looks around to see if the quartermaster's with us. I don't think he remembers if he is or isn't.
He would be.
Quartermaster, we'll need our weapons.
All right then. I'll get everything ready. Then he turns around, opens the door behind where you guys are, and it opens up into the quartermaster's office, which he steps into and then closes the door behind him.
We'll follow. And with that, he'll start in the same direction.
Do you want to open into the quartermaster's office, or do you have somewhere else in mind?
I think it's the quartermaster's office, yeah.
All right. The door opens into the quartermaster's office. You went inside. I think it's with that. We will call the session here for tonight. With the recontrol of the chantry and the crowning of a new regent. I think it is with that. We are going to cut some outros. Starting off with Dr. Quangle.
All right. Well, I am Cyberbro. You can find me on Tuesday nights on Bob's stream, Summerland Enchantment. But tonight I played Dr. Quangle, the good doctor. Finally, some order is being instituted here. He knew Jordy had it in him the whole time. The whole time. All right, that's me.
Very nice. Up next, Hasib. Give us your outro.
Hello and goodbye, everyone. My name is Zach. I have been playing Hasib. What a great day for Hasib. He loves tests, and he's been placed right in the center of one, and he's gonna make sure we all pass and impress the regent. Congrats to the new regent. Quotation marks. But yes, I play intermittently in other games. You'll see me around. Can't wait to see when the Unbowed makes us all bow. So, yeah.
Very nice. Next up, Maruna. What's your outro?
Hello. Hi, everyone. I'm Ree. I play Maruna. I'm happy to have provided our new regent some motivation, even that was just out of spite. Sometimes that's the best motivation. um, and this was awesome, guys. You can see me on Mondays playing with Mortal Rolls, play a Pathfinder homebrew game. It's a lot of fun. Come check it out. And I can't wait for us to find out what happens next week.
I think that worked. And next up, Kess, give us your outro.
I am Emily. I played Kess, and this was the most emotional I think Kess has been in years. He's gonna need a nap after this. Like, goodness gracious, I almost got people killed. It was a time. A time was had. But yeah, it was very fun. I am also in Bob's Tuesday game. It's very, very fun. Check out Bob's stuff. Check out Mark's stuff. I'm really bad at describing things, so Bob saved me.
Very nice. With that, last but certainly not least, Regent Geordie, give us your outro.
Taking time, Bob. Here we do a lot of Pendragon right now over at my channel, so you can check us out there. It's pretty much everyone here minus Ray so far is involved in some capacity. So yeah, if you're interested, if you enjoyed yourself, yeah, come check it out. Just want to say that I thought it'd be pretty fitting if Jordy turned into a splatter of blood, just like his now defined sire turned into at the beginning of the episode, but it didn't quite happen. Like he was
Nope.
all set up to be the Indiana Jones melting face guy, I think, but that's okay.
Listen, we
Alright.
couldn't have 2 of your Tremere characters die within 2 sessions. That would have been like a curse or something.
Right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right.
I didn't even think of that. That's great.
That's true. And I have been Mark, aka the CatsMeow, your storyteller for tonight's evening. I hope you have enjoyed our tale of the House of Tremere as they witness what may be the end of their clan. What a time to be alive. Or perhaps undead would be the better word. I'd like to once again do a very big thank you to Ree for all the lovely art and design work she has done for us. All this lovely stuff you can see with all the borders and lovely profiles, all thanks to her. So please give a big thank you to our darling Ree. And what else do I have to shout out? I also run a different vampire game for Vampire Dark Ages, known as Isle of the Damned, of which you can find the backlog on my YouTube channel. You can also find here on Twitch. Make sure you follow, and if you're on the YouTube, like, comment, and subscribe if you want more or just want to support us, because we do this out of the kindness of our heart. And my dear lovely players put up with me because I hopefully give them a fantastic story. I hope everyone has enjoyed and had fun, despite the depressing tones. And I would just like to say thank you to all who are watching. I think with that, is there anything else anyone needs to shout out or anything such as that? Other than that, we can probably head into yeah. With that, I think we will try and do a raid. We'll share the love, move things around. Let me get up some stuff here.
They aren't on. Dork Tales isn't on. Otherwise, I'd reference them again.
All right. I shall find someone.
There
Rachel.
is the Mandy and Robert Hartley GM.
Let me look at my. Let's look at tabletop. While I'm doing this, anyone have any things they'd like to say? Any moments they'd like to talk about?
Apparently the ag damage to Jordy's arm is payment for Hasib's camera, according to chat. That is karma.
Justice.
Sounds like
Karma
karma
came
to
back
me.
Justice.
for the camera.
Just.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. I probably should have had to make a humanity roll for destroying property. So.
Oh, that is true. Actually,
my favorite mechanic in this whole humanity thing.
Absolutely. of which we
Yeah.
will take
Great.
care of next session. But for now, we
Remember
are
not
about
to litter.
Yeah, don't litter. Littering is bad, or you'll become a horrible, destructive beast. Start this raid.
Bye bye.
Bye, everyone.
Got like 4 seconds.
Ah, Mark.
I don't know what to tell
I
you.
said
This...
bye.
All right, bye everyone.
Bye.
All right.
75
That
minute
happens on
mom
Brand
wave.
all